Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Road Life with Chris. Today we're in Florida somewhere. Where exactly am I at, Florida? Fort Walton. No. We're further south than that. Just north side of Naples, Florida. So Fort something or Gouda something. Anyway, South Florida. It's hot. It is hot. But anyway, today I'm going to fire up the Instapot. I'm also going to fire up my little stove here, and we're going to do a little fried cabbage. Use the Instapot to do the fried cabbage. I'm going to mash some taters. So I got a pot for that. I don't have a tater masher, so we're going to adapt, improvise, and overcome. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to use a Ziploc bag. After I boil my taters and get them soft, I'll get a Ziploc bag, of course drain the taters, put the taters in there, throw some butter in there, throw some milk in there, throw some salt and pepper in there, and then just mash the holy living bejesus out of it. And make them nice and mashed. I mean, that is mashed taters, right? So, of course, I got a mess of stuff right now. I'm trying to get it organized. I'm just getting it started, getting it set up. So, once I get it all set up, I'll be back with you, and we'll get her started, and we'll cook today's meal. So, we'll talk to you in a bit. All right, welcome back. So, we got my Instapot. Well, I shouldn't call it an Instapot. It's a Faberware. It's a cheaper version of the Instapot. Does basically some of the same things. So I'm going to set it. Man, it's hot out here. I'm going to set it for brown and sear. So I need to hit the menu here until I get it, and then hit start. So now my pot's going to get hot. So while it's getting hot, I'm going to cut up this bacon that I went to, get bacon from a truck stop really hard, and I forgot to get bacon at the grocery store last time I went because, well, I'm old and I forget things. So I suffer from CRS. Can't remember shit. But I got some bacon from the Subway just down the road here, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna cut it up here, and I'm not gonna make it too small. I want some pretty good little pieces on it. I like bacon. I just don't know if I like Subway bacon, but we're gonna try it and see what happens. Maybe I can render a little bit of fat out of it, a little bit of grease. If I can, great. If there's nothing else, I'll put some olive oil in it and to get some flavor from it that way. So I got that all cut up. I'm gonna put that in my pot and grab my spoon here, and kind of give that a little stir a little bit. Let it start doing its thing, and to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna get much grease out of it, much fat. So what I'll end up doing is I'll put a little olive oil in it just so I get some flavor. And I got a small head of cabbage here. So I'm gonna cut that up while my bacon is rendering. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting this up. If I can figure out what I did with my little bowl, there it is. I can't hardly keep track of stuff. This ain't an actual regular kitchen, so I'm just kind of trying to make do with what I can. And I bought that cabbage from Aldi's. It don't look like it's the best cabbage in the world, but we're gonna make it work. So put that in the trash can. Set that over there. As y'all heard, my little dog Nacho, he likes to eat everything that I eat, and if I don't give him what I eat, that's what he does. So I'm gonna take a little piece of cabbage and I'm gonna give it to him. There you go. And the crazy thing is he will actually eat it. So I can smell my bacon starting to put off a little aroma. So I'm gonna stir it around a little bit and go back to cutting up my cabbage. So I like it to be, fairly decent pieces of cabbage. I don't want it too fine. Like I said, I'm not making a lot. It ain't but nobody here but just me. Maybe one of the Florida highway patrolman will come by. Who knows? I've only seen 6 or 7 of them since I've been here. They got the DOT blitz going on right now, so they're out in full force, writing tickets and inspecting trucks. So I figured today would be a good day just to shut her down after a long day and fix me a little something to eat and watch them inspect trucks while I stay away from them. So that's what I'm gonna do. See, like I said, it's not the greenest cabbage in the world. It's got some spots that you can tell it's been sitting for a little while, but it'd be alright. So I'm gonna keep cutting it up here. Take the core out. Nobody wants the core. Well, except Nacho. Nacho seems to really like that core. Did you already eat all that, Nacho? Huh? Yeah, Nacho's a little long-haired Chihuahua mix, and he's like the boss of the truck. He tells me what he's going to do, when he's going to do it, and so I pretty much have to listen to him, because if not, he's just going to sit there and gap my ear off until I give in and give him what he wants. So, alright, I got my cabbage cut up here. I want to put my scraps here in the trash can, or my trash bag. Kind of missed some of them, but we're outside. Alright, it's rendering pretty good. I'm not getting much oil out of it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step around here. Alright. I got me a little olive oil here. Olive oil. I'm going to put some olive oil in there. Not too much. About a teaspoon, tablespoon. I don't know. I don't measure nothing. But eyeball it. Put some in there. So that's going to do its thing. They're starting to fry pretty good. I don't want to get it too crispy, because it's just going to soften up as I cook with the cabbage anyway. So it's doing its thing. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So while it's doing that, I'm going to let it sit there for a minute, and I'm going to make one more stir on it, like this right there. Then I'm going to pour my cabbage in. Voila. Cabbage is in. I'll make a stir while the cabbage is in it. You know, you don't have to put water in your cabbage when you fry cabbage. We're not boiling or steaming cabbage. We're frying cabbage. So that's there, and I forgot my salt. Be right back. See thing, I'll grab some salt and some pepper. So it's got to be salted. So we'll throw some salt in there. I barely even opened up, so salt's not coming out very fast. So I got some salt right there. Now I'm gonna put some pepper in it. I like lots of pepper in mine. So I'm gonna put 2 pretty good little deals here. It'd be about a, I don't know. That looks pretty good. You just see that your preference, you know. If you like lots of pepper, put lots of pepper in it. You like lots more, you like more salt, put more salt. It's up to you. You're the cook. You're eating it. You flavor it how you want it. Here in a little bit, when I get ready, I'm gonna put some red pepper flakes in it, put a little spice to it. So that's cooking. I'm gonna close the lid. Now I'm going to let it sit there and do its thing. Let it cook there for about 5 minutes or so. And then while it's doing that, I'm going to kind of clean up a little bit and get ready to start my next thing. So,
alright, welcome back everyone. So now I have got my cabbage cooking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my taters. You can peel your taters. Most people peel the potatoes. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep the skins on just because, well, I like them. So I'm going to take them here, I'm gonna cut them up. Like I said, it's just me, so I'm not gonna do that many. And I don't want them to take too long cooking. So cut them up kind of small, throw them in the pan. So, like I said, I want them to cook relatively quick. Throw them in there, slice that right there, cut it in half again, then just chop it. Make it pretty small, pretty quick. It is definitely toasty warm out here. So, like I said, I don't have my regular kitchen. This is all being cooked on the back of my truck. So I just have to do with what I got. Oops, dropped a piece of tater there. Do this one here, it's a small one, it won't take much. Cut it half again, quick little chop. Throw that in there. Same thing. Quick little chop. So, alright, they're cut up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get me a bottle of water here. Kind of spread that around a little bit. Pour a bottle of water on it. Bottle of water in it, throw that in the trash. This stove is just a camp stove, so I'm going to use a lighter here to light it. Alright, it's lit up. So now we're going to let that start heating up and boiling the taters while my cabbage is cooking. Got about a little bit longer on it, so we'll let it cook. Let the potatoes start boiling, and I'll be back to check on you here in a few. See you in a bit.
Welcome back. It's hot out here. Whew. I'm getting sweat in my eyes right now. It's toasty. It's like 97 degrees or something like that. So my potatoes are on, they're boiling, cabbage is cooking. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I need to basically take my pork chops and turn them into like chicken fry. So there's different ways you can do it. One way you can do it is you can get you a big old skillet like this one right here, and you can mash them, beat the tar out of them. You can do that, or you can take the back of a knife and just beat them around, you know, not too hard, but then you turn them. I put a little oil in them so that way the bag doesn't stick to them, and then I just kind of smash it around, turn it, just keep going back and forth. And what it does, it tenderizes them and spreads them out and makes them a little thinner. So I'll keep doing this for a little bit. So while I get these ready, I'll keep beating on these for a minute, and then I'll check back with you here in just a few minutes, all right? So enjoy the quick little break. Be right back. Welcome back again. It's hot. So while y'all are away, I got me a paper plate here and I put some flour on it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little pepper. I'm going to season my flour. So I'm going to put some pepper. I like lots of pepper. So put some pepper on it. Some pepper. And then I'm going to get a little salt. Put some salt in the flour. I don't actually season the meat because I'm seasoning the flour, and that'll get down into the meat too. So put the salt in here. Like I said, I don't have exact measurements. I just eyeball it. I might have to start using some kind of measurements at some point, but I don't. And I might eventually. And then I also like to put a little paprika. A little smoked paprika. Give it a little flavor and a little color. Alright, once I do that, then I usually typically use a fork, but I'm never prepared, so I'm using my hands. So you just mix all that in real good. Well, I just heard my Fiberware Instant Pot kind of beep at me. That means my cabbage is pretty much done. But I'm gonna leave it there, let it kind of do its thing. So once you get your flour all mixed together, all your stuff mixed in your flour real good. Well, there's a spot I didn't do very good, so we'll mix that in there too. So, whoop, got flour on my shirt. Also, I got a couple of eggs here. So I got my flour there. I got my eggs here. I'm gonna throw me an egg in here. Oh, look at there, one-handed hot dog. And then I'm gonna grab the other egg, do the same thing. Try not to get any shells in it. So I got that done. Gonna wipe my hands off. Again, I don't have my fork, so I'm gonna use my handy dandy knife here and just kind of like you would if you're scrambling your eggs. Just kind of mix it around there like you're scrambling them. Ain't gotta be perfect, just however you like it, you know, just mix it up. So I got that mixed up. So I'm gonna set that down right here. I got a plate right here. I'm gonna put them on once I get them all floured and seasoned and done. So I'm gonna take my cutlet, which I got back here behind me. Set this down here somewhere where I don't knock it over, because I don't have a whole lot of working space. Get my cutlet, throw that in there like that. Throw that one in there. We'll get them all thrown in here. So once they're all thrown in, make sure you got something to wipe your hands with, and then you just kind of toss it around. Get everything all covered with that egg. Nice and good coverage. Because what's going to happen is going to help that flour stick to your meat. That way it all gets seasoned up real good. So I toss it all around in here real good. Get it all covered. So it's getting covered nice and good. Keep doing that. Just move it from bottom to the top, bottom to the top. And that way it gets the egg all over everything. So now that's there. Once I got that done, pick it up, set it in the flour. Use your dry hand. See, wet hand, dry hand. And then you can put your flour on top of it. Kind of pat it down a little bit. Move it around. I pat it on there pretty good because I want a nice good coverage of it. Make sure you get your edges good. Tap it, then I'll flip it over, do the same thing. Make sure I get coverage, and I'm getting flour everywhere because it's a little breezy. So we got that. Kind of knock off the excess, and then I set it on my plate. Now you can see my potatoes are starting to boil. And so then I get the next one and do the same thing. Pull it from the bottom, drain some of the egg off, set it in the flour, use my dry hand, put some flour on top of it, move it around. Press it down so that way it gets all stuck on there. Then you flip it over and do the same thing. So then you shake the excess off, make sure you get all good coverage of everything, and then set it over on the plate too. Let it rest. Back to the wet hand and do the same thing. Set it on there, and then use your dry hand, throw some flour on top of it. Pat it down in there, just like that right there. Alright. Press it down pretty good, that way you get that flour good on there. Flip it over, do the same thing. that's all nice and coated. Set that one over here on the plate. Same thing with the last one here. Set it on there, dry hand, throw some flour on top. Press it down good. Get the edges good. Tap it down, press it in, flip it, do the same thing. Alright, do that, flip it over, make sure it's all good, pull the excess off, set it over on the plate. Meanwhile, set that down, grab my paper towel, clean my hands up real good here. Oops, drop the paper towel. Now my potatoes are boiling good. They'll be done before long. Alright, there's that. I'm gonna throw that one away. Give me another paper towel. Wipe my brow. Because, like I said, it's hot. So, don't get rid of your flour. Save your flour. You're going to need it. So I'm just going to set it over here out the way. Made a mess. I get my paper towel, clean it all up. I'll clean it up better later. It's just, I'm outside. The wind blowing. Then you get your pan. Bring it over here. Set it on there. I'll wipe it out because, like I said, I've had it underneath the bunk, so I'll wipe it out, get any dust out of it. Then I put some olive oil in the pan. Not too much, but I don't have much of this bottle left. Fire my potatoes boiling, my oil's hot, so now I can take my pork, put it in there. Usually want to set it down where it's facing away from you, so that way you don't throw the grease on you. You don't want to overcrowd your skillet, but I don't have a lot of room, so I only got 4, so we're just going to do those. Let them cook for a minute while the potatoes are still cooking. Potatoes are getting close to being done. I can put my knife in there and they go through pretty easy. So we'll let them keep going a little bit longer. They need a few more minutes. So this is the trash. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna let those cook for a minute. And when they get ready, I'll bring you back and show you when I flip them over. So we will see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. So these have been cooking for a few minutes, so they should be about ready to flip over. So I'll just kind of check them real quick. Yeah, they're getting some color on them. So I'll flip that one over. Yeah, that one's looking pretty good. I'll flip this one. Yeah, that one's looking pretty good. And then this one right here. Yeah, that one's looking pretty good. So I'll flip all those over. See, they got a little color on them. Now we'll let them cook on this side for a minute. Potatoes are pretty much done. I'll go ahead and turn them off and let them sit for a minute while this does its thing. And then I'll drain them here in a minute and put them in a Ziploc bag, put a little butter in them, a little milk. I got some milk right here. So I got my butter inside. So I'll grab that, I'll put some salt and pepper in them, and I'll mash them. Use a Ziploc bag. So you adapt, you improvise, you overcome, you do what you can. So that's what I'm doing. So I will check back with you here in a few minutes, let those cook for a few more minutes, and get everything else ready. And I'll check back in with you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. So now what I'm gonna do, my pork's still cooking, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain these potatoes here. Step off over here. So they're drained. I've already got me some butter in a Ziploc bag right here. So now, once I got those drained, stick that down in there, and then throw my taters in there. Alright, so they're in there. So, we got that. Set those right there. Give me just a smidge of milk here. Hopefully I didn't melt a hole in there. Got a little milk in there. Not a lot. And then I'm gonna put some salt in there. Here's some salt. And then I'm gonna throw some pepper in it. Alright, so I got some pepper in there. So then you seal your bag back up. Alright. Once you got your bag sealed up, I didn't do a very good job sealing it. But I'm gonna take, now you can do it several different ways. It's hot. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm gonna come over here and you can use a knife to mash them, or if you got gloves or something like that, just take and smash them. So I'm using my hands because that's all I got right now. I'm gonna use this plate actually. So you just mash them around till you get them in the consistency that you want. Get everything all mixed up. The butter will melt and get all mixed in. Everything all melt. You just keep mashing them around, just like that, until you get them into the consistency that you want. And then you can use the bag itself to actually serve it. Just cut the corner of the bag off, then you squeeze it onto your plate. So I'll finish mixing those up here in a minute. I want to check my pork here, make sure they're looking good. Oh yeah, get some good color on them. Flip them over. Flip them over. There we go. Now I'll get some more color on the other side. Let these cook for a little bit longer. And then I'll make some gravy. And that's why I need the flour that I had earlier. I'll use it to make some gravy in the same pan, so that way I can get the flavor and everything all together. And then when I get ready to start that, I'll check back in with you here in a few minutes. So, see you in a few. Alright, welcome back. Like I said, it's hot out here. So my potatoes are mashed, they're all mixed in. My pork's about done here. So, yeah, they got some good color there too. So I'm gonna put them on a paper plate with paper towel. So that way any grease that comes off of them can get onto the paper towel. There's some color there. There's some. Yeah, looking good, looking good. So those are done. I'm gonna set these off to the side for now. So, once that's all done, you got your pan. Take you a little bit of flour. Not a lot. I don't want to make a whole lot of gravy because there's not a lot of oil left in there. So I don't want to put a lot of flour in there because I'm not going to make a lot of gravy. So about equal amounts of flour and oil. So that way you're going to make the roux what you're going to do. You're going to cook it until you get that flour taste out of it. So just mix it around. Get all the oil picked up. Cook the flour taste out of it. I really need a whisk or something, but I don't have that. So I'll mix it around here. You'll get kind of a nutty smell when you know it's about ready. So, like I said, not a whole lot, because it's just me. So that's about ready. I can smell the nutty smell on it. So then I'm gonna take just a little bit of milk, pour some milk in it. Not a lot. That's probably about a cup there for me. So So then you just mix it around. So what it's going to do is going to get all that flour mixed in real good. Get everything all rubbed down so it's not lumpy. You'll see some lumps in there right now, and that's from leftover from the cook a while ago. So we'll keep stirring that around. Get all that combined real well. And while it's doing that, I want to salt and pepper it. So I'm going to throw some pepper in there, because we're going to make like a pepper gravy here. So I got some pepper there. Then we'll throw the salt. Then we'll mix it some more here. You can see it's already starting to thicken up.
Well, my GoPro just died, so all I got is this one. So I'm gonna keep mixing this around a little bit. Go ahead and turn the heat off because I don't want to overcook it. And now it's nice and cooked and thick. I don't know if you can see it very well over here, but you see it's nice. Got a good thickness to it. So now my gravy's done. Now I'm going to do some plating here. So I'm going to grab me a plate here. A couple plates. Open up my cabbage, take a look at it. Oh yeah, she's nice and hot still. So, yeah, turned out good. It's got some color to it. Got chunks of bacon in there. So I don't know if you can see that cabbage, see how it turned out, got the color. That's nice fried cabbage right there. I'm gonna take me a couple pieces of my pork here. Stick that on my plate. Give me some of my gravy. I'm gonna spoon that right over the top of it. Just like that. And then I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna move my potatoes around a little bit. Find my knife. Almost dropped my knife. So I got my knife right here. I'm gonna cut the end of the corner of it off. Make sure you don't cut yourself when you do it. So now that I got that done, now I can just squeeze me some taters out on my plate. Like that right there. Set that back over here. Make sure the stove's off. And then I like gravy on my taters too. So I'm gonna give me a little bit more of my gravy here. I'm gonna spoon that right over top of my potatoes. So there's dinner right there. So we got some country fried pork chops, fried cabbage, and mashed taters with gravy. So that's tonight's dinner down here in Florida, cooking right here on the back of the truck. So thanks for joining me, and until the next time, we'll see you on the road, and be safe and enjoy.